All right. Hey, good morning, Facebook family. Listen, I know that some will be joining live, but I know people will be watching this, and I want you to make sure you share. So I had the pleasure of talking to this young man right here. This is Noah Turner. You're in what grade?
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade. We're over here at Veterans Elementary School. So I had the pleasure of talking to him because somebody told me he had some tips to give for students. But at the end of our conversation, and for those of you who listen to my podcast, you already know about him. But at the end of our conversation, I said, hey, do you have any advice for parents? And he said, yes. So this is our time to share that advice for parents. All right. So Noah, we're going to go back to that time frame, okay? I want you to talk nice and loud. And I asked you the question, and here's the first thing that you said. And I want you to kind of expand on it. You said, so my advice for parents is to probably get your kids off the phone and let them go outside and play. Take their phones at night so they can get rest, so they'll be ready for school. So tell me more about why you said that and why that's important to you.
So the reason why I think that is
nice and loud.
important. Oh yeah. Okay. So the reason why I think that is important is because sometimes your kid can get too addicted to the phone.
Yeah.
And you know that can cause the brain to be focused on one thing and forget somewhat of the more important things like work or sports or such and such.
Wow. So y'all heard it here. So once again, I just thought it'd be good for us to hear from a student. I can tell you all day long, but hear from students makes all the difference in the world. I see that my camera, it keeps stopping a little bit. Can somebody give me a yes that you can hear us well? Just give me a yes in the chat. I'd appreciate it. And if not, I'll make an adjustment. Need somebody to give me a yes. Just give me a yes that you can hear us in the chat. That's all I need. Just one yes. Come on, somebody. Give me a yes. Okay, I'm going to assume it's a yes. All right, there we go. Great. Y'all can hear me great. All right. So that was the first thing. So listen, y'all heard it from the mouth of one of our students. Take the phones out your children's hands. You heard what he said about focusing on other stuff. So what time do you get off of your phone? I'm just curious.
Mostly around my bedtime, but
Okay.
but sometimes I just take small breaks and do incremental studying.
Oh wow. Okay, so he'll take breaks. I like that. So you study, put the phone away, might take a break, and you'll get on your phone maybe a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I also take breaks to go outside and try to gather questions about the real world.
Nice.
And then once I get to school, I ask my science teacher, Coach Sneed, I ask her questions prior to me going outside.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So that's tip number one. Okay, listen to number two. Here's number two. Number two is you should probably get your kids in clubs and stuff. And sometimes your kids don't do their homework. So you should definitely pay attention to that and get them to do their homework more. So tell me about why just talk to our parents. They're right there. Talk to our parents about homework. Let's go.
So I think that your kids should do more homework because going back to the fact that it helps them gain knowledge in many ways, and if they're stuck on it, then that can help train them and get them better step by step.
So let me ask you this. So kids get home, parents are there. What do you think? What specifically do parents need to do to make sure that you get your homework done and other kids get their homework done? All right, we are back. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully you can jump back on with us. Looks like we lost just about everybody. But we're going to go ahead because this is recorded and people can go look at it. All right. So the last thing we're talking about is homework. Now, here's the one I really want people to get focused on. You said, try not to yell at your kids that much.
Yes.
All right, let's hold on for a minute. I think people are coming back in. Come on back in, y'all. give you a second to come back in because I really want everybody to capture this last one. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Not sure exactly what happened. My phone just cut off for no reason whatsoever. All right, hopefully people can join back in. I think they might be on the other side. I hope they're not. They're coming in. Okay, people are coming in. Great. Come on in. Come on in. All right. Still coming in. We're going to go ahead and hit this next one. So listen, for people who are in right now, people are coming in, I'll remind everybody at the end to make sure you go back and watch the recording. But we've already covered a couple of items. We covered get your kids off the phone. This is from our student. We covered making sure that you get your kids involved in clubs. We covered the idea of homework, making sure your kids do their homework. And now we're on one, and this is not from me, y'all. This is from one of our students. He said, try not to yell at your kids that much. All right, Noah, talk to me about that one, man.
So the reason why I said that is because I've been noticing like sometimes at school when students get in trouble and you know how the teachers call parents.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when the parents yell at their kids in like a kind of terrible way,
Yeah.
their actions reflect on them, and then they can't, and then their actions can reflect on other students, and then it'll just cause a whole lot of tension between students.
Yeah, that's good. And here's the second thing you said. You said, try not to be angry as much because sometimes they can take that on to school and that can result in fights and arguments and such.
Yes.
All right, say more about that. You kind of just mentioned it, but I want to make sure we capture your point.
So my point for saying that is because sometimes kids get their rudeness and meanness from parents because parents they don't set a good role model as themselves for their kids, so therefore the kids carry that on to school, and then that can just cause a whole lot of conflict.
You know, I'm a parent as well. You really make me think about, you know, the fact that my kids watch me all the time, and I think they learned good habits and perhaps bad habits from me as a parent. I think y'all learn everything from adults. Like, you're literally watching everything that we do. So it was interesting to hear you say that as a student. And here's the last thing you said. You said, and don't abuse them verbally because that can happen and it can influence kids a lot. Well, what do you mean by verbal abuse? Give me examples of what you're talking about. I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
So I mean, like, don't feed don't feed your mistakes into them because then their mistakes can turn into a habit that they do all the time.
Wow. I will tell you, as an adult, I've made mistakes. And I think every adult on here will agree with me. We've all made mistakes, just like Trinity. See, you talking that smack. I'm gonna let that slide. We've all made mistakes, and it's important for us not to feed it into you as students. So I want to recap. Noah talked about getting your kids off the phone, let them go outside. Noah talked about making sure they get good rest. Noah talked about getting them involved in clubs and other activities. He talked about making sure your kids do your homework. And the last thing he talked about was making sure that you don't yell at your kids that much and try not to be as angry because sometimes they bring that to school. Y'all, Noah, I'm just blown away, man, at just your level of maturity. And how old are you? 10 years old. And I want to remind y'all that when I was talking to Noah, I asked this question with no preparation whatsoever, and this is what came out of his mouth. So I just thought it'd be good for us to come on live and let you hear from a student and to give some great advice. I want to encourage everybody, share this on your Facebook. You never know what parent needs to hear from a 10-year-old about his observations and what's happened around his life and what he's observed that he think will add some value to other students. Had the pleasure to meet your dad. Awesome guy. And I know he's awesome because you're awesome. There it is. That's kind of how it works, right?
Yes.
All right, so guess what, parents? If you're going to be awesome, behave awesomely, I guarantee your kids are going to do the exact same thing. All right, you want to share anything else before we go?
Oh, yes.
Come on.
So I had 3 more tips today. So my first tip is to try and get your kids to elevate their skills in reading comprehension and math comprehension. And you can also do this by trying to get them to practice in their ELA workbook or math workbook, or just trying to quiz them on the work that they may not know.
Wow. Y'all heard it right here. I mean, great advice. What are you going to say to a 10-year-old trying to give us advice on how we can do things better, y'all? No, I want to thank you, man. You're a truly amazing young man. And hopefully the Facebook world will take your advice and do something amazing with it. All right. It's been my live. Y'all have a great day. Please share. There's a parent out there. There's an adult out there who needs to hear today from a 10-year-old all day long. All right. Take care. Love y'all.